Welcome at It's Never Too Far Away. In this video I am flying the Chilean branch of LATAM Airlines from Sao Paulo to Santiago de Chile in business class. To build the trip I was on, I had found an interesting ticket from Cape Town to Sao Paulo via Istanbul, and also I really wanted to see the new built terminal in Santiago, from where I had a ticket back to Europe. So I also needed a ticket bringing me from Sao Paulo to Santiago, departing in the morning of a certain day to suit that schedule. The route is flown by Sky, a low-cost operator from Chile, as well as by LATAM, the major carrier of both Brazil and Chile, and also South American countries like Peru. Matter of fact, LATAM is the result of the previous merger of TAM Brazil and LAN Chile. To my positive surprise, on the morning I needed to book, legacy carrier LATAM was cheaper than low-cost carrier Sky. Usually these two airlines utilize single-aisle Airbus aircraft on this route, but LATAM's morning flight even had a widebody Boeing 787 dreamliner in the schedule. In economy class, this means you get entertainment screens. In the front of the cabin, the difference is economy class seats versus long-range lie-flat sleeper seats. And guess this. I do book a lot of tickets, but in this case I was just looking at the right time and the best fare. Only after completing the process, I realized I had just booked a seat in business class. I had completely overlooked that because the price was actually beating that of the low-cost competitor. To conclude, the low-cost guys were really far too expensive on a 3.5-hour flight, while LATAM was really quite cheap in business class on a wide-body aircraft. So let's start the experience. We begin at the LATAM lounge in Sao Paulo. Already now I can say that is a really cool lounge. I had arrived from Istanbul in the late evening, with my flight to Santiago leaving at 7 in the morning. I knew from before that lounges in Sao Paulo Terminal 3 stay open all night. Around the world, this is not found in many places. So it was 1 a.m. when I showed my ticket to a totally nice staff member welcoming me, telling me I could stay till departure of my flight and informing me about features of the lounge, such as quiet zones, possibility to take a shower, and so on. The lounge is really big with several different sections, and it offers very nice warm food throughout the night. Out of other lounges I know that are open all night, many do not do that. I am happy to highlight again, the LATAM lounge in Sao Paulo is definitely a nice one. But now it's time to fly. The aircraft, a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner. The aircraft is registered under and operated by LATAM Chile. I do have another video on my channel where I flew LATAM Brazil from London to Sao Paulo in economy class, which was very disappointing. I am not a frequent guest, but it appeared that the Chilean colleagues were certainly more friendly and dedicated. The welcome at the door for sure was nice, not just to me but also to economy class passengers. After taking my seat in business class, I got greeted by my name, and the crew also introduced herself. The seats. They were all facing forward in a 2-2-2 configuration. Privacy? Not really. Space around the seat itself? Also not really. But I found the distance from the seat to the footrest and the wall there that had the screen in it quite impressive. That bagged roll contained a blanket. Compared to business class seats where the legs go under the seat in front, the feeling of personal space was certainly superior here. The screen was too far away to be reached and had to be operated using this handset. Especially owing to the distance, the screen was not very big. 2 different power outlets could be found beside the seat. A bottle of water was provided and a menu that indicated what was to come. However, no welcome drink was served. Another item provided was an amenity kit. Content: toothbrush and paste, socks, eye mask, and earplugs. The sound system in business class was silent. Economy class cabin started right behind me and I could barely hear the pre-flight announcements and safety video from there. Ready for takeoff. Alright, those rainy clouds were really just above the ground. Now, ain't this a nice view? I could just stare out that window. Anyway, airborne, so it's time to play around with those few features of the seat. At the push of these buttons, the seat goes to lie flat seamlessly. It's not sleeping time, so I just make myself a little bit more comfortable. Meal will be served sometime soon, so it's better to familiarize how to open the table. A look at the service card reveals the history of the airline. For food, I chose omelette. It came with 2 rounds of salt, but no pepper. Different slices of fruit, 3 pieces of bread with butter and marmalade, and the omelette. Just egg, nothing in it. Overall, a decent meal of good quality and taste. I also had a coffee, and on my way to Chile, I enjoyed a Chilean Sauvignon Blanc. Service was delivered in a friendly way. Friendly routine is of course good enough, but it was nothing special. No effort was made to engage just a little bit. In the meantime, the aircraft was already cruising over the Andean mountains. That, of course, is something I wanted to enjoy. One feature of the Boeing Dreamliner is that the crew can regulate how dark the windows are. And they certainly did. Right after takeoff, windows were darkened, and later, after the meal service, they did the same again. On many flights, the crew are simply locking the personal function. In this case, I was lucky and I could keep my windows bright. The cabin was dark though, and that was not helpful when I wanted to get back into my seat after visiting the bathroom. Without direct aisle access, I had to climb over my sleeping neighbor, which did not work quite properly. In case you happen to watch this, please accept my apologies. Before coming back to my seat, I took my chances to chit-chat a little bit with the crew in the galley. I praised them, telling that in my opinion the Chilean division of LATAM is more friendly than the Brazilian, and they appreciated it. That was pretty much it. Maybe I should also mention that the aircraft was not equipped with Wi-Fi. Some people might also argue that in other airlines the business class seats are far more private, but then to me, the feeling of space also is something that definitely counts. One thing to keep in mind, most of the flights on this route are operated by Airbus narrowbodies. The fare would probably be the same, but the business class product for sure not. To me, this certainly was a good flight, and I arrived happy. The next thing to keep in mind, I was arriving at the base of the airline in Santiago de Chile. And this base is blessed by a super nice brand new terminal. I had just a few hours before heading off to London, but I couldn't wait to explore this airport. Spoiler alarm, this really is a super cool airport. Please watch my video. When it comes to this particular video, we have reached the end, and as always, I thank you very much for watching. And don't forget, it's never too far away.